Darren Till versus Marvin Vettori is set to take place in the main event of a UFC fight night on April 10th, and I can't wait for this middleweight bout. You've got two top 5 middleweights right now looking to scrap off against each other. Darren Till, Marvin Vettori. Darren Till at number 4, Marvin Vettori at number 5. I'm going to give my early prediction and breakdown in this video today for you guys because I'm very excited for this one. I'm also going to talk about the matchup being made in general to start things off because I really don't understand why this matchup was made. I feel like there's a bunch of other guys in the middleweight division you could have put these two up against, but since we've heard the news of Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa, I guess I understand it. I thought they were going to do something like Till versus Cannonier, Vettori versus Costa. The winner of Vettori-Costa takes on Whittaker for an interim belt, but now they're doing Whittaker for the 3rd fight in a row since he lost his belt, again, for not a belt on the line against Paulo Costa. They're really doing Whittaker dirty, and I'll talk about that later today in another video, but right now we're going to be talking about Darren Till versus Marvin Vettori. I am leaning in the way of Marvin Vettori right now. He had a real great performance against Jack Hermansson, and I have a ton of respect for Jack Hermansson in that division. And I also want to say this just to get off the... I just need to get this off my chest right now. Darren Till should not be ranked above Marvin Vettori in the middleweight division. He beat Kelvin Gastelum, and Gastelum has now lost fights to a guy in Jack Hermansson way more dominantly than Till beat Kelvin Gastelum, because remember, Darren Till, although beating Kelvin Gastelum, did it in a razor close decision against him and was very lucky to get the decision there because it was a split decision. I thought he won the fight quite clearly, but you know what? It was razor close. And Hermansson destroyed Gastelum in the first round, going straight for his legs, ripping apart his knee. Vettori goes out there and whoops up on Hermansson. I consider Marvin Vettori the number 4 guy right now in the middleweight division, and Darren Till at number 5. But whatever, Till can be ahead of him in the rankings. I do believe that Darren Till's going to lose this bout to Marvin Vettori. I just feel like in a case where it's so close, and both guys are so good right now, I'm going to lean on the favour of momentum. And also, another thing about Marvin Vettori, a more well-rounded martial artist, because Darren Till is very good on the feet. However, it feels like whenever he takes on a guy who can take him down, he gets a little bit gun-shy. Masvidal did this to him in the early rounds of their fight, and after that, Darren Till didn't really want to throw and overextend. Same thing with Robert Whittaker in their fight, got him to the ground, landed some good shots. After that, Darren Till, very hesitant to throw and counter. He didn't want to overthrow his shots and have a guy shoot a double leg underneath him. Again, against Tyron Woodley, a guy who kept trying to take Darren Till down. Till was very hesitant, did not want to let go his hands. In fact, he didn't even fire a single shot in that entire fight against Tyron Woodley because he was so focused on defending the takedowns. I think Marvin Vettori having that takedown in his back pocket that he can use, as we saw against Carl Roberson, an equally good, I'm not going to say an equally good striker to Darren Till, but again, a great kickboxer in the middleweight division, Carl Roberson. Marvin Vettori goes out there on the feet with Carl Roberson, doesn't really like what he's seeing. He wasn't getting beaten on the feet, he just wasn't dominating on the feet in the first round the way he expected to, I assume. So he went straight to the ground, destroyed Carl Roberson's brains in against the canvas by just ground and pounding him the hell out of there, and eventually sunk in the rear naked choke on the ground. I think Marvin Vettori having that in his back pocket here, just to go too early to put that thought in Darren Till's head, is going to give him the advantage here, and it's going to make Darren Till gun shy to throw that counter shot that he's very good at with his left hand, and I think Marvin Vettori is going to whoop up on him for 5 rounds. I don't see Marvin Vettori getting a finish, but I do see Marvin Vettori just outlanding Darren Till, who's going to be a little bit too hesitant because, again, since that KO loss of Darren Till, he's been very hesitant to counter. And I know that he tore his knee out in the Whittaker fight, but that knee's not going to gain its ligaments back, let's be real. I just feel as though Darren Till is a little bit gun-shy right now, and I think against a guy like Marvin Vettori, you can't be gun-shy because he's going to keep coming with volume, and I think we could see a 5-round in favour of Marvin Vettori, of him just outlanding Till every round. Till occasionally landing a great counter shot and a great leg kick and looking the more technical fighter, but I just think the go-getting attitude of Marvin Vettori, coming forward, putting on volume, getting in everyone's face, is going to be a huge factor in this fight. I think he's going to smother the shots of Darren Till, get in his face, get on him and put a pressure on him for 5 rounds and beat him on the feet every single round with some takedowns mixed in. I don't think he gets Darren Till to the ground, but I do think that just putting the thought in Darren Till's head is going to make him so hesitant to throw, and that's going to lead to Marvin Vettori winning on the feet, because Marvin Vettori is a savage in that division, and I feel like he's kind of overshadowed right now because he has this whole beef with Israel Adesanya, and everyone says Marvin Vettori's so delusional for thinking that he won against Israel Adesanya. I agree with you, by the way. That was a very clear win for Israel Adesanya. I don't know how a judge gave it to Vettori. However, one of those rounds was very close. I went to Adesanya on that round because I should have done, because it was obvious that Adesanya won that round. However, Marvin Vettori had a very competitive striking match with Adesanya. Got outlanded, don't get me wrong, but still landed a lot of shots of his own. I believe 15 in round 2 and more in round 1, and it wasn't too close away in the strike differential for Adesanya. And then in round 3, he's taking Adesanya down, outlanding him as well, and winning the 3rd round against Adesanya. And I think just having that split decision in his back pocket, I know Vettori knows he did not beat Adesanya. Vettori knows he did not beat Adesanya. But I like the confidence that he carries forward, knowing that he has technically the closest fight with Israel Adesanya in the division right now, and I think that momentum and confidence has taken him as far as it has. He's very confident in himself. I think he's going to go out there, get in Darren Till's face, mush him up, not to mention Darren Till previously fought Kelvin Gastelum, who trains at King's MMA with Marvin Vettori, and I'm sure they could come up with a great game plan to take him on. They've already fought him before over there. They've already had a pretty good game plan against him. I mean, Gastelum had a real close fight with Darren Till, but Till just barely outlanded him here and there to eke himself a split decision. He didn't even outland him, in all honesty. He just out-cleanlinessed him. Gastelum's shots were a little bit more smothered, bouncing off the gloves. Till's shots were right down the pipe, popping back the head of Kelvin Gastelum in that fight. I like Darren Till. I like his style. I don't like where he's at right now, in all honesty. I think he's a little bit gun-shy. I think he's lost a bit of confidence. I think he's taken on savages, which I always respect about Darren Till, because he takes on murderers back to back to back. But I just don't think he's got this one in the tank. I don't like where he's at right now, man. I feel like we've learned this with Conor McGregor now in hindsight. Darren Till is not going down the right path of a martial artist that's going to be the greatest fighter in the world. If you're the greatest martial artist in the world, I didn't see GSP and Magaluf fire extinguishing his entire hotel room and then stealing a taxi. I didn't see GSP getting a whole new set of teeth for his MMA fighting career. That just screams to me that you don't actually care about being the greatest fighter in the world. If you're getting new teeth, we saw this with Anthony Smith. I know I can't really put too much weight into this, but why would you do that? Why? If you want to be the greatest fighter in the world, why would you risk an entire new set of dentures that could come out that are not going to be as strong as your old teeth either? Why would you risk that unless you were in this for kind of the image? And I know Darren Till is probably going to be sitting there right now watching this, getting his Instagram out to put up a story of me or something along those lines. I just feel like he's not really on it, to be honest with you. I don't think he's got that grit that Vettori does. And I could be biased here. Darren Till's from England. I'm from England. I could represent England here and go with Darren Till blindly like those guys on BT Sport inevitably will. I'm sure of that. Nick Pete 100% is going to be going with Darren Till in this fight. And even without logic, he would do that anyway against any opponent. But still, I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori here, having those takedowns in his back pocket, having the confidence right now of going 5 rounds with Hermansson, a top guy in the division, and taking those 5 rounds, he took those 5 rounds on short notice. I know he was training for a fight anyway against Jacare, but he was training for 3 rounds. And in those 2nd and 3rd rounds against Hermansson, it kind of looked like he had only trained for 3 rounds because he started to slow down a bit, like the end of the fight was near. And then rounds 4 and 5 came along and all of a sudden he had to switch on and go, you know what? I need to empty out here and really put it all on the line in these 4th and 5th rounds against Hermansson. And he did just that and outlanded him in those 2 rounds, showed great cardio. We haven't seen cardio proven by Darren Till yet because all of his fights seem to be so slow because he sort of tricks guys with a bunch of feints into not throwing too much. I think Vettori's pressure style and volume and just confidence is going to go through all of that. I don't think he's going to get caught up in the feint match with Darren Till. I think he's going to go forward, get in his face, hold him against the cage, knee him in the fire against the cage as well. Marvin Vettori is definitely going to be the stronger one in there in my opinion. I just don't see Darren Till getting this one done, and if he does get it done, he's for sure a top contender in the middleweight division 100%, and if he doesn't get it done, it might be one more or it's over for Darren Till, and that hurts me to say because I love Darren Till, okay? I love Karen Till. She's a very good complaint person, I guess, from now on. I like Darren Till. I just want him one moment in this fight for Marvin Vettori to take him to the ground and for Darren Till to go, I'm fucking exempt, you fucking bully boy. I want that to happen at some point. I just need Darren Till complaining in Scouser geese at Marvin Vettori. I just feel like this matchup shouldn't have been made right now because you've got 2 young guys, very promotable, future matchups for Israel Adesanya, one a rematch of a split decision I'm sure Adesanya would like to clear the record of. I know that Adesanya knows that he beat Vettori and we all know that as well, 2 rounds to 1, it's very obvious. However, having that split decision on his record, people that don't watch the fights are just going to see split decision. So if Adesanya wants to really have a perfect legacy here, he's going to want to get rid of that split decision on his record 100%. I don't think the Till fight is going to happen with Adesanya, but I know Adesanya wants that Till fight as well. I just don't know why they made this one. I know why, because they made Whittaker versus Costa, which is equally as done. My opinion, Till versus Cannonier, Vettori versus Costa. Winner of Vettori, Costa takes on Whittaker for an interim belt in the middleweight division. Keep Whittaker out for a little bit. We don't need to rush him back in there, but you know what? They've done what they've done, and now this is what's going to happen. We're going to lose one of Till or Vettori, when we could have had both. Why? Why would they do this? But either way, winner of this bout is going to be in a really good position. I feel like the winner of this one is one fight away from a title shot. If it's Marvin Vettori, I want to see him against the winner of Whittaker versus Costa, unless the winner of Whittaker-Costa is going to be taking on Israel Adesanya. If it's Costa, I think they'll do the Vettori fight. If it's Whittaker, definitely make an interim belt fight between Whittaker and Marvin Vettori. If Darren Till beats Marvin Vettori, which I don't feel like will happen, I think they should do the winner of Kevin Holland versus Derek Brunson versus Darren Till, and then maybe a title elimination bout after that, just to move things along in that middleweight division. But it's very clear what they're doing. They're sorting out the middleweight division for Adesanya's return. Hopefully we can have a good contender at the top of it with a bunch of new wins under his belt. I just don't see Darren Till getting it done. I see Vettori doing it with his grappling, with his volume. Darren Till could go out there and land some good leg kicks, but I've just seen him so gun-shy in his past few fights. He didn't even land a shot against Woodley because of the threat of the takedown. Against Masvidal, he's doing good in the early rounds. Masvidal takes him down in that fight. Then Darren Till doesn't really want to throw anymore, and he starts getting a little bit gun-shy, eventually gets clipped. Then in the Gastelum fight as well, like Darren Till didn't really want to throw too much, and he's had higher output before that in his career when he was more confident, landing great shots against people in all of his fights. I mean, Justin Ayari, there weren't a lot of shots landed, but he made good work with those shots. He's very patient, he found the right shots. Against Bojan Velikovic, he had a higher output as well. I just see the output coming down recently, and I don't like seeing that. And against Whittaker, when he got taken down as well, and he was on the ground in the second round after that sort of weird knockdown where the forearm of Whittaker landed, it just seemed like Till, he's a little bit too hesitant, and I don't see that with the momentum of Vettori right now, and I don't like where Till's at, man. Vettori isn't arguing with police officers about wearing a mask, you know? I don't care what you feel about masks. I know that Vettori is not doing that. Vettori is training with Kelvin Gastelum at King's MMA and a bunch of other savages getting ready for Darren Till. And I don't know what Darren Till's doing. He's got kids. Vettori is single. No kids. No distractions whatsoever. Darren Till has a fucking beer business, Raw Dog. It's very funny on Instagram. It's hilarious on Instagram. Don't get me wrong. I love every single second of Darren Till's Instagram. But Vettori is not doing anything like that. He's training in the gym. Vettori is not sending for cameos by Mike Perry. I know that doesn't take away from the training, but he isn't setting up watch businesses on the side and clothing brands. It just, there's differences in how committed the two of them are into the game, and I feel like Marvin Vettori, being more athletic, being stronger, being more well-rounded, and being more committed overall, is going to get the job done here against Darren Till. Thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe. Marvin Vettori by unanimous decision. I'll say 4 rounds to 1. He might lose the first. Click that button up there. Goodbye.